Papow. Greetings, guten tag, ni ao konnichiwa, annyeonghaseyo, ciao, buongiorno, bonjour, hello, hola. Welcome. Welcome to another rendition. Come with me on my cold steel journey. First, it started with I wanted a Bowie knife, right? So I wanted a Bowie knife, and I was looking online for a Bowie knife, and I was looking at reviews for a Bowie knife, and mostly everybody, and I asked people, and mostly everybody said Cold Steel Trailmaster, and there's a CPM 3V, blah blah blah, or a something super steel got blah 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 made in Taiwan, or the Japanese Sanmai. Now this is gonna have a harder edge. Oh, look at that! Look at that beautiful Sanmai line. Now it'll have a harder edge, so it will chip easier, but it'll last longer. And just, Sanmai, that's cool to have, Sanmai. You know, the sandwich, Sanmai, sandwich. So I went with that, right? And I was like, I was very impressed with the quality. I was very impressed with the thickness and the stoutness and the fact that it's full tang. And I was interested in the Natchez Bowie, and I was interested in the Laredo Bowie, but when I found out that they were wire cable tangs with a ton of epoxy and blah 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 blah, and I don't care if you have to destroy them, if ever this thing loosens, it's a pain in the butt. Stop trying to focus on my finger, stupid camera. But anyway, so it was a no. This was the best one. So got it. Awesome. Sweet. And that got me thinking, well, what else is cold steel? Because I've always thought that cold steel was garbage, and I was always told that cold steel was, overweight, heavy built, garbage, blah, 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 rusted, easily, you name it. And I'm shopping on Amazon, and I saw this. And I always did like the Cinque Dia that they did, and I always wanted a Cinque Dia. Nobody really does a Cinque Dia. And of course it's on sale. I was like, man, I'm getting it. That's just from inside the scabbard. That's not fingerprints or nothing. And I was like, man, I'm totally getting it. Just to check it out, and whatever. If it's garbage, I'll send it back. Well, all that. Isn't that ugly? Me trying to sharpen it because it's a convex edge, like the Trailmaster, and so that's kind of a pain in the butt to sharpen because you got to get the edge right, and it's hard to find the edge. So whatever. So I bought the Cinque Dia. I'm like, man. And again, I was surprised at the quality. I've had this for a while. I live in a very humid climate all the time. And look, still not rusted. Leather inserts, people were saying that they were wood or cardboard or something. No, they're leather inserts. Or maybe theirs were. This is all... That's one thing I should have caveated. All these cold steels I'm showing you are post Lynn Thompson selling the company. So take of that what you will. Still made in the same place. They're still made in India. That's the other thing I was surprised at. I'd always heard, India's garbage. India and Pakistan, they make crap. Blah 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 blah. Maybe Pakistan. But India too, all the crap out of India or Nepal or anything like that region because of the quality of the metal, and it can't reach the heat temperatures for tempering, and the wood cracks because of the moisture, and the blah, 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 blah. And the metal they use isn't real good, blah, blah. This blew my mind. This blew my mind. I checked it, sticking it into wood, digging it out and stuff, and no edge deformation at all. I mean, that's a pretty robust tip right there. Let's see if we can, yeah. That's a pretty robust tip. So I was impressed with that. And so I've always wanted a pirate sword, or a Dussac, or whatever you want to call it. But I've always wanted a pirate sword. And shop it on Amazon again, saw this bad boy on sale. I was like, man, heck yeah. Picked it up. And again, just very, very impressive. Very impressed. Very impressed. It's a sheath, not a scabbard. That's fine. Again, leather inserts, not cardboard. Right? Great thickness. Distal taper. And I had heard again, weight was garbage. The weight's garbage. Blah, 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 blah. I picked it up. I think the weight's fine. I know it's heavy. All the weight's back there, though. And it isn't cumbersome. Whatever. The steel's great, too, no rusting. Still in great condition. And whammo. Again. Saw it on sale. Pulled the trigger. Always wanted a rapier-esque. This is their Cavalier. 36-inch blade. Always wanted. A Cavalier. A rapier. And it's perfect. Great hand protection. Everything. And maybe that's the thing. On sale, Cold Steel's great. Their asking price, absolutely not. But if compared, because the thing is that the steel temper, everything is right on these. We tested them against wood and stuff, and the puncture, everything's right on these. Whereas, honestly, a lot of the Chinese stuff, and you're going, no, a lot of the Chinese stuff is actually too soft. LK Chen, they're still too soft. Yes, it's in the historical range, but it's still too soft for the modern steels and stuff like this. Because these are spring steels. These are modern steels. They can be tempered higher to keep those edges. And they're still going to flex. They're not going to break. That's the whole point of these modern spring steels. Spring. So 55, 56, 57, that's fine. 54. Come on, push it. Fuck 47. Fuck 50. But whatever. I don't know anything. I'm not a forger yet. But I'm working on it. I'm working on being a customizer. The next logical step is blacksmith. So, yeah. And I'm definitely gonna be taking some blacksmithing. So, alright. Y'all have a good day. Peace out. Stay aware out there. And thank you for coming along with me on my cold steel journey. Y'all have a good night.